Good evening, everyone. It's Carla. I hope you're having a good night. I found an old book that I had here from 1967. It's an inspirational book. It's called Adventures in Insight, and it has this really pretty picture on there, a drawing. And it's by Harold E. Kohn. And like I said, it's from 1967. And I found a really pretty essay in here that I would like to read tonight. And I'm going to just kind of focus your image here of a beautiful sunset while I read this to you. This is called, Can You Look at Life's Darkness and Still Believe in the Light? Recently, while taking an airplane trip across a stretch of America's Midwest, it was not an auspicious day to be flying, but the flight could not wait for fairer weather to come. Leaden clouds darkened the heavens, and the winds whipped the air with sadistic frenzy. Before a drop of rain could even fall, the earth was already drenched with forebodings of an approaching storm. But the plane did take off as scheduled, and in minutes we were lifted above the heavy storm clouds, and what a difference the climb of a few thousand feet made in what we saw. When looking from above, the clouds were not black and threatening at all, but were fleecy white and touched with gold highlights from the sun. Now, when were the airplane passengers seeing the clouds truly or realistically? When we were viewing them from the ground and could only see darkness? Or when we saw them from high in the heavens and only beheld their brightness? Which was right, the dark view or the bright view? And which was true? Actually, both views were right. Clouds have a shadowy side and a sunlit side, and what an observer sees depends upon whether he is above or below those clouds. Pessimism and optimism are extreme fragmentary views of our human existence. Now, the pessimist looks at life only from the ground, from the lowest possible place they could be. He sees only the dark underside of any and all questions, and he makes that his viewpoint. He behaves as if there were no sun above and no promise of any better days to come. Now, the optimist is nearly always in the clouds. They maintain a view from above the clouds, actually, and see life as one brimming, beautiful place to be, totally ignoring darkness and storms. But faith, and a great faith, is neither always earthbound, in the gloom, or living in the air above the clouds. Rather, it recognizes that clouds are both dark and light. They can be both forbidding and beautiful. Such a faith is big enough, realistic enough, honest enough, appreciative enough, daring enough, and hopeful enough to see, recognize, and weigh the worst and the best, and still believe that if a good God allows both in his universe, he must have a purpose and a place for them, no matter what. So the man of faith makes room in his thinking for both the dark and the bright. Now, a pessimist will grumble, my gas tank is 3/4 empty. But the optimist happily and carelessly will say, well, my tank is 1/4 full. But the man of faith knows that such a tank is both things, 3/4 empty and 1/4 full. But believing that partial views and dwindling supplies alike are not safe to travel this earth, he will thoughtfully and carefully drive to a gas station and fill up his car. The pessimist complains that the lily flower belongs to the onion family, but the optimist will blissfully say, no, the onion belongs to the lily family. And they'll actually argue over that. The man of faith, though, will consult an authority, find the answer, and decide that it really makes no difference. He's just going to be grateful for lilies and onions. He'll order onions along with his dinner, and he'll grow lilies in his garden to look at. And he believes that each belong in the common plan for this world and were put here by their Creator. The man of faith is inclusive in what he appreciates. A pessimist will gloomily count all the difficulties there could possibly be in any opportunity. But the optimist will do the opposite. They'll ignore the difficulties in their opportunities. But the man of faith, fully aware that there are both difficulties and opportunities, will believe that God will help him to use the opportunities and difficulties alike to develop a more Christ-like character. Faith is not a belief that everything will turn out to please us. Faith is rather the confidence that no matter how things turn out, God will somehow use the events of our days for His glory and our own good, if we will have it so and submit to His will, that is. We do not know, and we do not need to know, all that can possibly happen to us. But at this moment and always, we can know in what spirit we will take anything and everything that may happen to us. We can accept the worst that comes our way as being the gloomily dark earth side and bright with opportunities on heaven's side, forbidding from our viewpoint and bright with hope from God's viewpoint. There was a cellar wall in the city of Kohn that bore a heartening gospel. Escaped prisoners of war hid in that cellar during World War II, and one of them left this inscription written on the wall there: I believe in the sun even when it is not shining. I believe in love even when feeling it not. I believe in God even when He is silent. That faith of that man is more realistic than just pessimism or optimism. It is more honest than pessimism and braver than optimism. It knows there is darkness, but still believes in the sun. It experiences emotional numbness and loneliness, but still believes in love. It suffers the silences when heaven's answers to their pleadings are delayed, but that faith still trusts in God. One measure of your faith is whether you can look at life's darkness and still believe in the light of God. I hope you enjoyed that, and thank you for listening. Bye.